talk to an Eastern European about communism, which I believe is continental Freemasonry. Does that have anything to do with the Jesuits? Maybe. The Jesuits got into liberation theology, mostly in Latin America, owned mostly by British Protestant corporations. They started stirring shit. The Jesuits stir shit? Yes. The Jesuits believe in enlightenment? Alumbrados looks that way. Are they the Illuminati? Probably not. Does Illuminati exist? Well, Weishaupt was a Jesuit school. They supposedly hated Jesuits. Is there any proof that the Illuminati infiltrated Freemasonry? Yeah. George Washington talked about it. Was it continental Freemasonry? No. Either it's a Jesuits fucking East India Company by stirring up the peasants to confiscate their shit. Liberation theology. There's a counterattack, counter-reformation. Revolutions. Were the Jesuits sponsoring revolutions in Catholic countries? Fuck no. Fuck no. I believe that was continental Freemasonry. It only exists, more or less, in former Catholic countries and empires. They don't believe in a God. Did Marx believe in a God? No. Marxism is atheism. And atheism is a problem because there is a God and he is a creator. Alright, so JFK comes in and this Castro guy does land reform. Which means he's taken the Rhodes Roundtable, British East India Company, shit in Cuba, confiscating it, and teaming up with the Russians and the Chinese that are probably continental atheist Freemasons. Thus, violated the Monroe Doctrine. Okay? Thus, violating the Monroe Doctrine. Eisenhower already had it in place. If Castro won the revolution, that the CIA, for plausible deniability, was going to go in and take them out. With covert action, so it didn't start a goddamn war with Russia. The goal was not to start a war with Russia. The war was to be able to blame the CIA so that Russia couldn't say the American army did this. Kennedy comes in, they say, hey man, this sumbitch is down there fucking with United Fruit's property. Okay? Called land reform. Could be nationalism. Okay? Land reform could be nationalism or communism. If you ask a Vietnamese, and I did, why would you embrace communism? It says the only way to get our country back. Okay? They were able to confiscate the land and reallocate it for national purposes. That's nationalism. Confiscating the land of the corporations and redistributing it for international purposes. That's fucking communism. That is continental Freemasonry. In my opinion. And them fuckers don't believe in God. Okay? So in 1960 was a violation of the Monroe Doctrine. Birth of war with Russia, Michael Otter. I asked you, Michael Otter. In 1960, as history repeats itself, and I talk a lot about real estate. Do you really want to buy something where there's about to be a fucking war? Donate to guide dogs, Michael Otter. My grandfather would love you. From the American perspective, and my last name is Austrian, I think from the Holy Roman Empire perspective, that my family belonged to for thousands of years. From the Catholic Church perspective, because I'm mostly Catholic, I definitely like the Catholic monarchies historically. Okay, and I lived in Europe. If I lived in Europe, and a bunch of Protestants and Eastern Orthodox people came to the mountains of Bavaria, trying to tell people stop being Catholic, I would say let's put them on the rack. We get them the fuck out of here because they're causing trouble. Or send them to America where they can debate that shit freely. Okay? There's places to debate shit freely, and then there's letting everybody in and fucking up what's there. Okay? America has let the world in, and now we have the world's problems. It's stupid. And it's in the cities. Nobody agrees. Okay? How can you run a country? The original 13 states was a bunch of Anglo-Saxon motherfuckers. We all agreed we need to try to follow the Bible, and there is a God. Just like Aquinas said. And you can use your God-given reason, whatever the fuck that means, to understand there is a God. So raise your hand if you agree there is a God. And he created everything. Because we're on the same team. Okay? That is Christianity, Judaism, most versions. I think including the Kabbalah, that may call that creator a force, Scottish Rite Freemasonry, okay? And Muslims, people of the book, who used to sort their shit out, saying we're people of the book. We're going to listen to Paul or whatever Muslim prophet. It says, stop arguing about endless genealogies and focus on the gospel, which says man fucked God's plan up because man wanted to decide what was good and evil for himself. That's the fall. That's the fruit, the knowledge, the gnosis. We're fighting over knowledge. What does knowledge mean? Is it knowledge, step one of the 6 dimensions of learning or whatever the fuck it is, or is it comprehension? And I forget the third one. Okay? Most Gnostics, which means knowledge, believe that the holy texts have the written word, low level of knowledge,